Keeping it real, keeping it real, keeping it real, keeping it real, keeping it real with Reverend Laura.
As human beings, we are born curious. We have an innate curiosity that is instilled in us within the first moments of life, where we are trying to figure out this world around us and our relationship to it, and how we are affected by it and how we can affect it. If you've ever been around children, younger children, you know that they can ask a lot of questions. Studies show that the average child asks between 70 and 100 questions a day. And if you've ever been around a 2-year-old, you know that most of those questions are why. They want to figure out why things are happening, or why they should do things, or why they shouldn't do things, or why certain things are certain colors or shapes or sizes or behave in certain ways. They have this innate natural curiosity that, again, is instilled in the moment we're born. And our willingness to ask questions about our world around us helps us expand our idea of it, and it helps us develop our creativity, which is a key point in living a fulfilled life, is having the ability to be creative in whatever aspect that is. As we age, we stop asking as many questions. Again, the studies that I was reading said that the average adult only asks about 20 questions a day, and the nature of those questions changes dramatically. Adults ask questions that are most often closed off or limited questions, ones that have a direct answer. They're not questions that are asking for us to explore something or to think about something in a different way. They're asking questions like, what's for dinner? Do you want to go to a movie tonight? What time is the meeting this afternoon? These are the kind of questions that most adults spend their time asking. It's seldom that we get into these more probing questions that we were doing naturally as a young child, that we stop doing that as an adult. And I think there's lots of reasons for that. Some of it is because we don't want people to think we don't know the answer right away. There's also not near as many things that we're trying to figure out. At least it seems that way. I think our things that we begin to figure out are a little deeper, and maybe we don't really want to ask those questions out loud. And so we stop asking as many questions in our lives. And so to actually begin to reignite this curiosity, this is what we're talking about here this month, is this development of awe and wonder and curiosity about the world around us and our relationship to it and how it works in us and through us. To reignite this curiosity, we can begin by asking more questions. In the self-help movement, there's a phrase that is often thrown around that you can determine the quality of your life by the quality of the questions that you ask. The quality of your life is determined by the quality of questions that you ask. And so what kind of questions are you asking? Are you simply asking those questions about what's for dinner? You want to go catch a game after work? Are those the kind of questions we're asking? Or are you asking questions that are actually going to allow space for an answer to move through you? In his book, Life Visioning, Michael Bernard Beckwith talks about the stages of consciousness. And he says that in order to move from the first stage of consciousness to the second stage of consciousness, we have to shift the questions that we ask. Well, the first stage of consciousness is often called the victim consciousness. And in order to get out of the victim consciousness, we have to begin to shift what kinds of questions we're asking. In the victim consciousness, we ask questions like, why is this happening to me? Where we're looking at trying to figure out, what did I do to deserve this? All of that is that idea of I've done something wrong, or I am wrong innately. And so to begin to shift that, we have to begin to ask different questions. We can ask questions like, what is the nature of this? Or what is there in this situation for me to know so that I can begin to not experience this kind of situation again? And so as we begin to shift the questions that we ask, the quality of our life shifts. And we can also ask questions for other things. We can ask questions to get a glimpse of a higher idea, a bigger picture. We can ask questions that will challenge our limiting beliefs. We can ask questions that help us see or do things differently. We can ask questions to learn something new. And we can ask questions to help us become more creative and innovative in our lives.
Keeping it real with Reverend Laura.